Hello everybody, this is the Heartland Heathen here. I just wanted to say happy Thursday. Hope all of you are well, hope everything's going good for you. It's kind of really weird times now. The wildfires are happening right now, and a lot of other crazy stuff's happening, but I hope all of you are well. I hope many blessings from you, from the gods, the Vitir, the ancestors, everything. So, I wanted to make this video. I previously made a different video where I went up in northern Wisconsin, filmed a bunch. I did an offering to the Vitir there. The video was kind of rushed a bit. All my videos are pretty much just I come up with it on the spot, just stuff I want to talk about. That was kind of a little bit... I was very short on words. It was just, yeah, it was a fun time up there, but yeah, I just couldn't speak very well, as most of the times is, if most people know. Anyways, I wanted to talk to y'all about, what Heathenry has done for me over the past several months that I've started it. For those of you who don't know, I started Heathenry back in February of 2020. So it was just a little bit before the pandemic hit. Maybe I don't exactly remember. I think it was more in March when it hit. That's when quarantine hit. But quarantine definitely helped me with my Heathenry a bit, because it was like you're supposed to stay there, supposed to stay in your house, and so I had time to just do a lot of research and whatnot. I didn't really get to reading the Eddas at all. I just actually started reading the Poetic Edda, actually the Jackson Crawford version. I have it here somewhere. That's also going to be in the later part of the video, where I'm going to do a little bit of an offering to Bragi, because I have not really made any contact with Bragi lately. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall down. You're gonna fall? No? Okay. I'm just gonna make sure that it actually does not fall, because I don't have a case on it yet, so. Yeah, but this is, I don't know if you can see this, it's probably backwards. It says the Poetic Edda by Jackson Crawford. You're probably gonna recognize the cover of it. It's a good book. I'm not terribly far into it, but it's really interesting, because I had done some research on the myths, and just reading some of the myths, like I know like the one where they go to when Thor and Loki, and I think the version that I read, they had like a human companion that could run really fast. I don't remember his name, but they went to the Hall of Utgard Loki, and they went through the series of trials, the trials that the King of the Giants had issued to them. Like Thor drank from the horn that was actually the sea. He tried to lift his pet cat. We could only lift one foot off, but he actually managed to lift. That was Jormungandr in disguise. And then Loki was in an eating contest against Logi, which some people consider Logi and Loki to be the same person, just in a different timeline, because as we know, the whole thing is, oh, that was a light car, but we know that the whole reincarnation thing, where like it happens over and over again. Not gonna burn on me, on you? Okay, all right. Hopefully the candle doesn't burn on you. This is very impromptu. This is just something I wanted to do. Anyways, I just wanted to say a few things of like what Heathenry has done for me, and what has like really helped me. Heathenry has really been helpful to me in the sense that, actually, you know what, let me try something here. I'm going to dip just a little bit of it out. It might unlight it. Okay, I just dipped a little bit of that out. Maybe that'll be better now. Now it won't go out. So what I think Heathenry has done for me, it has really, it's because it's such a religion of homework. um, it you have to really dive into it. Um, like you can't just go. I mean, you can. It's again, you have to do your homework with this religion. You have to. You just have to kind of go out and do it, and it's also a thing where you need to. You can read the sources all you want. You can do the research, but what it really comes down to is your personal opinion. Um, well, your personal preference, how you feel, how it reacts with you. You're gonna have to blaze your own trail, is what I'm trying to say. You can't. Don't expect people to do things for you. It's not a religion of having people do things for you. They can help you. You might meet up with a friend and do like a little sort of bloat or a little ritual or offering, or maybe just do some spiritual work. But a lot of this is going to come down to you. You're going to have to, you decide what you do. You decide how far you want to go. You decide how much time you want to invest into this. For me, it's been on and off. I've been really trying hard. It's not that I have just lose interest in it. It's just that time, distractions. I get distracted very easily with certain things, so I might be like, "Ooh, look at this over here. Oh, I need to do laundry. I need to go to the store. Oh, look at this thing on YouTube that I want to watch. I'll watch this video." And I'll be like, I'll do it later. And that comes procrastination. Then you end up not doing it. I actually meant to do this during more of the daytime, but again, I'm just a very big procrastinator, so I'm doing it at night. So, again, what it's helped me with is just going out and doing things. I didn't really have a lot of motivation to do a lot of things. When I was younger, I did. When I was in high school and I did sports, college as well. It was, I don't know, it kind of dropped off during college. It was still there to like motivate myself to go like work out and like run and whatnot, and just like go hang out with people. I'm not the greatest person to make friends with, but if I can do it, I can do it. Yeah, if I can really connect with the person, I can. But it was just something that you just drops off when you lose the motivation to do it. Heathenry, not just because of the way not because of just like what it offers you. It's just like how it alters your lifestyle. You can, in a way, I want to alter my. Kind of confusing. Sorry. What was I trying to say? Yes. So Heathenry has been very helpful for motivating me to go do things outdoors. I've lost the motivation or the will to like go hunting or go fishing or go camping, and Heathenry is a lot of nature work, a lot of when you connect with the gods, you get, really helps to go outdoors. If you want to, with any of the Vanir gods, with Freyr, with Freya, with Njord, with any of them, like, you're gonna connect to them probably the best if you go outdoors and do it. You can connect to them indoors probably just as well, but I mean, there's probably something where feeling the bare earth on your feet is, you're probably going to feel more connected to them, and especially with the Vaethir as well. So that's just one of the things, is that it helped me get back into nature. It helped me just rediscover like the whole wide world of things, and then it was just something that just, it felt very drawing. I had always been really drawn to nature as a kid, although growing up in a Christian household, it's more just, you try to feel God in the grass, the trees, the birds, the bees, the deer, the antelope, the the bison, the bear, everything. Like, you feel it through that. Like you just said, these are God's creations. But it just never felt right. And then when I discovered Heathenry, and I asked around, and then just got involved with the kindred that I'm a part of now, just doing things on my own, and just like discovering and connecting with certain deities. Like Fenrir was probably the biggest one that made me feel most connected to the wild, because Fenrir will knock you on your butt. I mean, some people may be a little bit leery to Jotnar worship, but it was just something that I didn't mind. I think it kind of helped because I'm a big God of War fan, and I played the latest God of War game, and it was just a really cool thing to experience. And then it's from the perspective like the Jotun are good, and then the Aesir are bad. Not saying that's true. I'm just saying I don't think all the deities are capable of great and evil things. Well, great and wicked things, like order and chaos. That's how it goes. The Jotun are not evil. They are just merely chaotic forces. Like, can you call a hurricane evil? Not really, because it's a force of nature. It's just something that happens. It destroys a bunch of stuff, but then it can help rebuild. It might just completely decimate a part of the wetland, like down in like the bayou or whatever, but maybe it'll clear out a bunch of trees, and then maybe you'll have swamp grasses grow, and then maybe it'll bring like a mangrove up where it was just like a woody swampland before. And we all know that mangroves are kind of few and far between at this day and age because of how it floods so much, which is weird because, you know, mangroves are, you would think mangroves are they would be hardy, but I mean, they're a delicate ecosystem as well, so you can't really have too much disturbance or pollution in the water. So anyway, shoot, this is gonna happen a lot, me losing track of what I want to say. Oh, right, so when I kind of started getting more into heathenry, it was just more of a thing that I just wanted to. It was almost like a thing, like a thirst for knowledge, a thirst to know more, a thirst to do more things. Hello, ladybug. Oh, you're not a ladybug. It's just more of something that it connected me to nature, to where it was a pull that I felt to most of my life, but it was just something just like, I'm just going to dismiss it, like, because God is here. And that's another thing I want to say about is, if any of the videos that I make, I'm not going to bash Christianity openly. Well, not openly. I know a lot of people have issue with it because it's been oppressive. It's been terrible things have happened. Maybe you were, I don't know, molested by a member of the church, or just like did wrong by a member of the church, or people said, oh, you're going to go to hell for what things you do. I mean, yeah, that's terrible. Those people are awful people. You shouldn't say that to people. Like, that's wrong. That's mean. But I have Christian family members, and I hold them very dear to my heart. My father is still Christian. My mother is still Christian. Both of my sisters aren't, but there are other people in my family that are. And I love them a lot. And I have no problem with them being Christian. And in fact, I don't necessarily not believe in the Christian God. I think there's a possibility that every single religion could be true. All these deities exist. Like, who is to say that Odin can't stride over to heaven and, you know, share a mead with God? Or what would prevent Buddha from going down to hell and dining with Hel and Balder? I don't see any reason that could be false. But yeah, just all this stuff that I've just discovered over time in the short 7 months that I've been a heathen. I mean, again, I have so much to learn. Like, the runes, I know next to nothing about the runes, but I do like Algis. Algis is probably my favorite rune. just because it's the rune of protection, the rune of the stag. I identify with the stag probably the best because being a big deer hunter, we have our own land that we hunt on, that we plant. We plant food plots for them. We planted all the trees and the prairie grass there to give them habitat and shelter for them to breed, to have their fawns, to watch them grow up, and then eventually like shoot them, and then field dress them, cut them up, take their meat, and then just return the rest of that to the earth, which all the other animals on our land can have and eat. Because I don't see any reason why you should take a bunch of deer bones and like deer hide and just throw it away in a dump somewhere in a garbage can, in a landfill. There's no reason for that. Give it back to nature. Give it back so other animals can use it. Give it back to the earth. Give it back to all the Vetir and the spirits of Midgard for them to use. I don't see why you can't do that. And that's why I feel so close to Algis, is just because of just you feel like you're aiding in the part of the stag. You're aiding in the protection of them, whereas they would just have nowhere else to go. I mean, yes, there's a lot of woodland around here, but it's managed where we're at. So, just being able to aid the deer. I wouldn't say being a protective agent, but just being able to protect them. But yeah, that's just another thing that I feel like Heathenry has helped me with. I think, what else? I think the last thing is really friendship and family. This is something that I still struggle with. It's still something that I'm really trying with. Where your kin and your folk are probably your biggest supporters, and probably they're also it's a liability for you if you wrong them. So take care of your folk, take care of your family, because you know you're gonna need them. They need you as much as you need them. Whatever kindred, whatever part of group that you're with, whatever it is, take care of your folk. Take care of the people. It's something I still struggle with because of being an introvert. It's hard, but Heathenry has certainly helped. I talked to Freya more, not so much about, a little bit about relationship issues, but just more so of just like trying to be friends with people, trying to be friends with people a little bit easier, trying to open your heart up a bit. I feel like Freya is also a good person you can go through for friendship, not just like relationships. It's just for friendship, and that's just another thing that I've just figured out. It was actually really cool that the first time I actually connected with Freya, which is actually a few weeks ago. I was working out in a gym, and I was just about to like head out when there was this little kitten that was standing at the door, and it was a glass door, and it was in like a pretty like a pretty rural, I mean not a rural, like suburban area. Like it was in the middle of like the town that I live in. So like there's cars going by, like it's in the middle of a parking lot, like there's people probably getting like groceries and whatnot. And it's just like, well, yeah, there are people that let out their cats, but it's just like, this is something that's not really weird. You don't see like a kitten just going off by itself randomly. So it was funny for the reason because it was just like, this is very peculiar. This is not something that normally happens. So I walked out of the door, just grabbed my things, walked out of the door. It bolted, like as soon as I like grabbed my stuff, it was still there, bolted. And so I kind of like shuffled out the door to see if I could see where it went. And I opened the door, nowhere to be seen. And it was a part of a strip mall. So like there wasn't any corners. It couldn't have ran, and there's no bushes anywhere. So I'm like, there's nowhere where this thing could go. And like there weren't any cars parked in front. It was just basically me. It didn't make any sense. I'm just like, this cat must have just thin air. Who knows? And that was the first sign that was like, hey, I should probably offer to Freya, and it was wonderful. She didn't show herself to me, but she offered pretty sound advice, which was cool, and it's something that I think her advice is, I take her advice now really seriously, in the only the 3 short weeks. But yeah, it's just something like it just those moments where it's just like, you found your calling. These are the reasons that the gods have called you. You know that they've called you. Like, you found your place. It's gonna take a lot of work. It's gonna take a lot of dedication to like make yourself better, to make yourself just a better heathen, a better person, and just work with your problems and make your shortcomings better. It's gonna take a while, but if you keep at it, again, it's the religion of homework. Do your research, do your homework. Make sure you actually practice what you preach. Like, do it. Just go out and do it. That's what I have to say, is that just to do it. And so I think I've rambled on long enough, and I'm going to close this out with an offering to Bragi, and I'm going to read from a passage from the Poetic Edda. So let's go with this. I have some mead, by the way, so yeah. This out a bit. Hopefully it doesn't. Okay. Oh, this is the Havamal. Oops. Like, again, this is... No. Nope, this is the Valthrusmo. I'll just read this part. Actually, nah, we're not gonna read this here. I'd rather read something for Bragi that actually is meaningful to him. I mean, I could Google something, but my phone's right there, so I'm just gonna go with this. I don't have any poetry, but I would definitely say some if I had something here. Bragi, god of drink and poetry. I thank you for the poems that the skalds have said throughout the ages. Tales of heroes and villains and mighty beasts and mighty warriors and kings and queens throughout the land. Some say that your poetry, your rhythm weaving has long been forgotten. But we know, but the folk know, that it's still here, and that you still sing the praises of the Aesir and Vanir and the Rokar. Loki has much insulted you. I think that we know. But your poetry will not be matched by anyone. Nor will your fill of mead, fill of the hall, how you beckon all of us. How you beckon heathens around the world to fill in these halls and drink and be merry, and sing the praises of each other, of our boasts and great deeds. And that in a time that we are so divided, we can still to come together as one. And so I invite you now, Bragi, to come drink with me. To remember the tales of old. To remember the old gods. The gods long forgotten. The gods that are coming back. The gods of our ancestors so long forgotten. And to you I say, Hail Bragi, the poet of Asgard. And with this, I would like to give this to you by saying the rune Gabo. Gabo. All right. That was a long video. That was just a little impromptu thing to Bragi, and just a little thing that I wanted to say. I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Rest of the week, I hope you have a great week next week as well. I'm going to try to do these a bit more. I'm going to try to, just do these a bit more. I mean, these are just things that I just want to, just share with people. Just share with people that are new like me. Again, not an expert, but if anybody has any kind of suggestions for me, or if I said anything wrong, or if I just use any bit misinformation, that's fine. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, no, I mean, you can never learn too much. You can never stop learning. Like, if it's like, actually it's pronounced this way, or it's actually this root is pronounced this way, hey, you're learning something new. Nothing wrong with learning something new. So, yeah, thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a good week, and as always, cheers from Midgard.